What's up, y'all? It's raining over here, Jesus. But usually on the day of a funeral or something, it's always raining. And since Takeoff was a celebrity, there's a lot of people that's in their emotions. Um, and we're connected to the universe. So usually when there's a wake or a funeral, whatever emotions we have, it'll rain. That's where making rain comes from. But anyway, I'm gonna wait to see if anybody trickle in here because I got some deep stuff to discuss with y'all. And I was contemplating on whether I should talk about it or not, but I don't think God opened my mind up to figure these things out if I wasn't supposed to share it. So, um, first of all, my mind went back to all the way back to the beginning of hip hop because I have a point of reference. I need points of reference. And there's two types of people in the world. There's the type that will do anything for money, and there's the type that have integrity. We all love money. We all like nice shit. But some of us will go all the way out for it, and some of us won't. And mind you, with some of the things I'm saying, I'm not placing blame on anybody but the system that we live under. That's why God gave us free will. He could have made it all to us where we all have the same movements. We don't go against God's laws, but God gave us free will, and that's what free will is all about. You make your own decisions. You decide whether you want to live by the laws of man or if you want to live by the laws of the universe. And to be truthful, it's kind of unfair because they didn't discuss, we never learned this, that we don't know that we have 42 laws. They told us that we had 10 commandments, but there's 42 commandments. They got the 10 commandments from the 42 laws of Mayat, which came out of Kemet. Kemet is now known as Egypt. And what got me started to thinking that I need to go live and talk to y'all is I was wondering why Takeoff's funeral is so private. Why aren't they allowing people to record? They might say it's out of respect, but it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that, y'all. Of course, people will want to record, and he's already passed. What up, Daisy King? He's already passed away, so of course people will want to go to Takeoff. See, they're like the hip hop Beatles. So I'm just wondering why is it so secretive? Even though some of the public is allowed if they buy tickets to go, they can't do any recording. I know when Nipsey Hussle passed and they had that funeral for him, everybody was dissecting what was going on, and as we should. As we should, we need to pay attention to what's going on because there's too much that's going on. I could see if once in a while something bad happened, but this is too consecutive. It's too consecutive, y'all. And these are people that have, maybe this new generation doesn't understand this, but before it used to be the people in the industry. Yeah, the funerals today, AZ King. It used to be that if you was rich and you was a celebrity, you would run into these celebrities at certain clubs, or you might see them in the city somewhere in New York, because New York had a lot of activity with the industry people and entertainment. So when I was growing up, so if you might run into them in the street or something like that, but there wasn't all of this violence that's going on now. So what I want to tell y'all, it seemed like, and you had more thugs and gangsters with money then. So maybe that is what balanced it out as far as people wanting to rob stars and stuff. You need to hide the whole month. Do nothing. Well, maybe, back in the days when people had money just like, the industry people had. Some of the street dudes had more money than the industry people had. And maybe it was better that way. And gangsters, they looked out for, what's up, Sassy? Let me tell you, AZ King, I know you're not with the conspiracy stuff and stuff like that, but this is not conspiracy stuff anymore, y'all. This is not conspiracy stuff. I'm going to go all the way back to when I started to realize what was going on. When I started to realize what was going on was when Biggie passed away. When Pac passed away, it was a little suspicious. We thought that Suge Knight had something to do with it, maybe because Tupac wanted to leave the label, because he had signed with Death Row in distress. He was in jail and he didn't have no bail money. And it was also allegedly said that that female set him up by saying that he raped her and he really didn't. So Tupac passed away, but when Biggie passed away, Biggie used to always talk about Jay-Z all the time. He used to big Jay-Z up a lot. And I was waiting to hear what type of song Jay-Z would drop in the wake of 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 Big's passing. And what he came out was this: "The City Is Mine." I want y'all to go listen to the song "The City Is Mine" when you have time. It's and the hook went like this: "You belong to the city, you belong to the night. In the river of darkness, he's the man of the night." It had nothing to do with saying anything about Big, okay? Anything about Big passing. And mind you, if it wasn't for Biggie, we wouldn't have gravitated to Jay-Z the way that we did. We wouldn't have gravitated to him like that. It was because his first song that he dropped with Foxy Brown, they had Biggie in the video, and that's what made everybody start paying attention to Jay-Z. They described it that Jay-Z was this big drug dealer, and he had all of this money, and he made no. It was Biggie that made us look at Jay-Z. Okay, so he comes out with this song, "The City Is Mine." That was suspicious to me. But I didn't realize till later when I started studying that these satanic people, they refer to the night a lot. That's one of their code words. And we are the children of the light. If you ever read the Bible, you will see the Bible says something about the children of the night, and it says something about the children of the light. Okay. And you got a lot of these songs that reference a lot of these rappers, even Drake, making a lot of reference to the night. So after I seen that, I said to myself, I said, it seems like Biggie and Pac was taken out so that Jay-Z could have a position, the position that he eventually had. But then I also looked at the fact that when Beyonce was with Destiny's Child, the number one group was TLC. And the number one R&B artist for the hip hop community was Aaliyah. So I would say Destiny's Child in the group, they might have been number 2 or 3 because they wasn't popping like that. They was making their little songs, but they wasn't popping like that. TLC was number 1. Let's passes away, right? And then Aaliyah passes away. And now we're hearing that Aaliyah wasn't even conscious when she was put on that she was actually put on that plane, that she was given some type of sleeping pill or something, or I don't know what the details are, but it's being alleged now that she was asleep and they put her on that plane. They said that Aaliyah was definitely afraid of planes, and that someone was chartering a plane for her the next day, so she didn't have to leave when she left. But they were saying that Dame, she wanted to see Dame so bad, so she left. You know what I'm saying? But that was suspicious to me, the way Aaliyah just died like that. And I remember when she died on the newspaper, it was the Daily News, and it said Aaliyah. I was like, damn, that's so fucking cold. But let me go back. In 97, when Biggie died, they did the same thing. They said Biggie dead on a newspaper, really big. And then when the princess died, the Princess Diana died the same year as Biggie, and it said Princess Diana dead. Then Gianni Versace died. It was three big deaths in 97. First it was Big, then it was Princess Diana, then it was Gianni Versace, the one that made Versace. Y'all know about Versace because the Migos has a song called Versace. Okay, so Aaliyah dies now. And then Beyonce just disappears. But when she reappears, she comes back with the song, and she just blows up. She becomes a superstar. Now, on YouTube, at the time when I was starting to realize all these things, that you had a lot of people breaking down these videos and the symbolism in the videos. And there's a scene in Beyonce's video where she gets in a car with Jay-Z and the car blows up and goes on fire. And then she comes out and she's dressed like she's a whole different Beyonce. And that's actually what happened after Aaliyah passed away and Left Eye passed away. But just the same way that Tupac and Big died and Jay-Z became who he became, Aaliyah and Left Eye died and Beyonce became who she became. Okay. So recently, since I've been known, I said, let me go all the way back to the first murder before Biggie and Tupac. And the first murder was Scott LaRock from Boogie Down Productions. He was with KRS-One. And now it's coming out that there was two deals on the table. There was one deal where they would get money in advance, and there was another deal where they would get their publishing rights and a little money in advance. But the money in advance that they were offering without the publishing rights was a little bit more money. So KRS-One wanted to go with that deal. But Scott LaRock was saying, no, let's go with the publishing deal. We'll make more money in the long run. And he winds up dead. Now, the situation behind Scott LaRock winding up dead, Scott LaRock someone called him to defuse the situation, and he went and diffused the situation. Like, it was squashed and everything. But one of their bodyguards came and punched the guy in the face, and then the guy started shooting at them as they were leaving in the car. But the only person that got hit was Scott LaRock. Right, AZ King. Because Scott LaRock was more educated, more well-versed in the music industry. KRS-One was broke and homeless, right? So that was the first murder, y'all. But we didn't get the details till recently. So now, let's fast forward. You got Triple X Tentacion that dies. You got Jada Youngin. You got there's so many of them. Big L, Chinx Drugs, all these rappers dying. But see, what it is that now that we have technology and we don't necessarily need record labels anymore, anybody who's talented can or has any type of potential may potentially become a superstar. So now you don't need to get approval from any record labels or anything like that. You can just come in the game, throw your stuff on some type of streaming service, and if by chance you blow up, you become a superstar. So now you don't really have to go through anybody else and be, compromise yourself. You feel me? $500,000. Yeah, $500,000 too. Yes, Sassy. So many of them. It's so many of them. So what I'm thinking now with these events going on and so many rappers dying quarterly is that the ones that's already signed their soul over and signed these contracts and stuff. They want to remain at the top so that they can get all the money and adulation. Because once you don't get money and adulation, the industry doesn't want to be bothered with you. And then sometimes people wind up dead. So I think that these people are being forced to set these other people up. You understand? Now, the only one that you might say, oh, he wasn't a rapper was Duke the Jeweler. But what Duke the Jeweler would have done is knocked out the rest of the jewelers that all of the rappers go to get their jewelry. Because Duke the Jeweler's jewelry was more high quality than the ones that's in place now selling these rappers jewelry. Because their jewelry did not look better than Duke the Jeweler's jewelry to me. So his jewels were more flawless. He was a little bit more meticulous in picking his jewels. And probably because he's a brother, he was selling the brother's real gold and not mezzanite. You understand what I'm saying? So these guys are making a killing off the industry, or anybody who can afford it, selling these rappers and these guys, these mezzanite jewelries. They will never know if it's real diamonds or not. But here comes a guy from the hood who's self-made. He has his own money. He doesn't have to answer to anybody, and he's getting attention. So I remember when Duke the Jeweler was killed, and I was looking at the situation, and I was blaming Boosie. But Boosie is not in the clear. He's also with the same group of people who are the gatekeepers. We'll call them gatekeepers, because in order to keep their positions, they have to make sure that other people don't get in or get to a certain point. So that is where mob ties comes in. And mob ties is not just Jay Prince Jr. and his brother. No, it's a whole bunch of them. Now it comes out that Lotta Cash Desto, she got killed after leaving a party with mob ties. Duke the Jeweler got killed the next day after leaving a concert where mob ties attended the concert. And now Takeoff gets killed. But people are saying, oh, well, Quavo shouldn't have said what he said. But Quavo is a celebrity. He's not a regular person that just said something. So why would he want to risk his career over a couple of $1,000s? Quavo was insulted because of the way he was being treated, and there was some things going on at that party and some certain arguments going on why Quavo was acting the way he was acting, and why Takeoff was in the background watching what was going on. Something was going on prior to. So if you put all these things together, because this guy that was arrested, Lotta Cash Desto's father, by the way, was arrested. He has ties to CMG. And he was arrested for playing a part in the murder of young Dolph. And you see all the time, young Dolph always talked about being independent. He didn't want to be owned. You know what I'm saying? He even told us about people offering him 22 million, and he didn't accept the 22 million. And what happened? He gets shot 22 times. So let's put all this together now. The father gets arrested for setting up Dolph. She's from Memphis. She moved from Memphis to Houston to be under the protection of mob ties and whoever else, because her life was in danger, because people in Memphis knew that these people were involved in Dolph's death. So she moves over to Texas, and she leaves a mob tie event, and she winds up dead. See, because her father is not somebody that he could be just used as a crash dummy, just like the rest of them. You see the one straight drop in jail now. He's complaining they're trying to kill him. They don't care about what happens to him because he already was used to do what they needed him to do. So a lot of Cash Desto is out there, but people move around now. You're not isolated now to one state. So people found out that Lotta Cash Desto was out there, and because I was wondering what the hell did they kill her for? She got killed because of her father being involved in Dolph's death. That's my assessment. Allegedly. That's my assessment. But these people that was running around claiming to be mob ties are actually terrorizing and gatekeeping the industry. So whoever doesn't bow down, here these people come and they have all these affiliations and people are trusting them and checking in. And what happens when they check in? Nothing. These people don't protect them. So it seems to me like you got half of the black community going against the other half. Because if you come out of the black community and you're not tied to nobody, or you're not in any societies or secret societies or fraternities or whatever the fuck y'all want to call it, brotherhoods, then you're not supposed to get but so far. And this is why I told y'all before I didn't respect Bill Cosby. Because Bill Cosby, for the 10 years before he got arrested, he was tearing black people up, totally insulting black people. You can't read, you can't write, you can't this. And what made me so upset about that is because he knew, because he's been in a secret society, he knew that this was by design. But when you get too big for your britches, when you join these brotherhoods and shit, they'll bring you down and let you know, look, we the bosses here. You ain't shit. We just used you to fool your people because you the one that can get their attention and energy, and you have influence. So once you have a certain amount of influence, they want to make sure that you're under their control so that they can control the black population. I don't know if that makes sense to any of y'all. But I haven't slept since Takeoff got killed. Mind you, I told y'all before I didn't even mess with the Migos. But I know and understand that something is going on. And Jay Prince Sr. is a part of this. His whole thing is a Pimp C. Even Pimp C, y'all. I went back to Pimp C. It's a really, really demonic energy that's going on. But the thing about it that's good is they can't hide it no more. And that's why they've been taking out more and more people, because you can't hide the shit no more. It's everything is out here. You guys, that's why these celebrities don't like social media. And that's why you see Cardi B suing Tasha K and all that, because their secrets can no longer be kept under the. Before we just used to speculate, but now you got these platforms and people get up there and speak, and they don't have no more secrets anymore. So this young girl, Lotta Desto, y'all, she got killed because of her father's involvement in the death of young Dolph. It really bothered me too, Sassy. It really bothered me too. And I like I said, I think we're all connected some type of way. And when sometimes these things happen to get us to pay attention, because I said when Whitney Houston got killed in 2012, I was telling people they did a whole ritual right in front of our eyes, and nobody understood that or paid attention to it. I said, shit is going to get worse and worse and worse, y'all, until we understand what's going on. And that's exactly what happened. It's got worse and worse and worse and worse now. We got every 2 and 3 months, something's happening. And you got some of these people that sign these contracts and agree to be in these secret societies, but they just can't live it down. So they start talking and they start rebelling. And then the next thing you know, poor Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson fought the whole industry and all these secret societies by himself. Because once he got older, when he was younger, they had him, in the situation, in that type of lifestyle. But as he got older and started reading and finding out who we really were, it is said that he went to Steven Spielberg and all these big producers because they was all sweating him after he did Thriller. And he said, listen, I want to do a project where I can show my people who they really are, because everything depicts them as criminals and lowlives. I want to show them who they are. And nobody would agree to help him do a movie like that. So what he did was he went eventually to John Singleton, and they decided to do that video, Remember the Time. Because if you look at Remember the Time, it depicts us as Egyptians, it depicts us as royalty, and there's no white people in that video, not one. And in that video, in that song, he picked the perfect song because they use this type of system called repetition to program people. And if you remember in that song, Remember the Time, Michael Jackson said remember about 99 times because he had mastered the art of what they were doing to us. So what he was trying to do was use it in reverse and use it to wake us up. So with that image of us being Egyptians and being royalty, and him saying remember every 5 minutes, he was trying to activate our subconscious mind and get us to remember who we were. And that's when they got mad at Michael Jackson. That's when they started saying that Michael Jackson was a child molester, y'all. After that. And people talk about him dyeing his skin and all that shit. If you have vitiligo, you can't make yourself darker. The only way you can make your skin even is to make it lighter. But before these people do something to somebody, they make sure that they don't have good credibility with us. So that was the perfect vehicle to use. He's a child molester and he doesn't even want to be black. Now all these rape charges coming out. I didn't know what happened, but no criminal charges, just civil. Well, I don't think anybody's going to be charged with the death of Takeoff. See, God wants us to be the judge and jury now. He doesn't. It doesn't matter what this justice system says because it's not used to defend us. It's used to keep us living under a certain system, a certain way of life, so that we can be beneath everybody else. What God wants us to do is take back our power and say, look, I'm here. I think God is saying, I'm here. Y'all just ignore me. And you want to go get everything I already gave you from the devil. Yo, it's crazy, y'all. I'm telling you. The revelations I have here when I sit down and meditate, it's like a movie, y'all. And we all play positions. But everybody is caught up in life. We caught up in trying to make money. There's so many distractions. We caught up in keeping up with our peers and making sure people like us and accept us. And we can't say this because we don't want people to be mad at us and this and this and that. It's no more of that. I have to speak. After Michael Jackson, Eddie Murphy, Iman, and Magic Johnson did that video for Remember the Time. Eddie Murphy, I didn't see him do no movies. His movies was coming out, all of them was flopping. Iman, they wouldn't give her no more work. She had to marry David Bowie to get money. Okay, he married her so he could take care of her because they had ostracized her. They had blackballed her. And Magic Johnson, they gave him a big humiliation ritual and told him that he had to come out and announce that he had HIV, that he had AIDS. And where's the AIDS that Magic Johnson had? Miraculously, they can't find a trace of HIV in his blood anymore. So, Jennifer Hudson. I'm talking about the charges against Takeoff. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, the rape charges they're trying to talk about. I ain't even paying that no mind. I know they're just trying to taint his image because people are upset about what happened to Takeoff and that he was such an innocent person in that industry. He wasn't bravacious and none of those things that usually rappers are. And they want us to feel away so that they could control the energy. Because being that we're so upset about Takeoff, is something within us that wants something to be done. And what they want to do is interrupt that energy. These people play with science with us. This ain't no fucking game. This is not no face, no surface shit, y'all. This is fucking deep. We don't understand the science of how we operate. I just told y'all, it's raining. It's raining today because of how people feel. If you notice, anytime there's a wake or funeral, it's raining. If in your own personal lives, pay attention to that. I agree they have to tarnish him. They have to tarnish him because we're very upset about that. See, a lot of people didn't know Duke the Jeweler. But so it's not that much energy. But with Takeoff was a major superstar. So you got all races of people that's upset about Takeoff. When Kobe died, they had already tainted him before by saying he raped that white girl. You understand? So, the innocent part they didn't have to worry about, even though we still was upset about that. And I know people saying, "Oh, she be talking crazy shit." Listen, I just didn't just wake up and start talking like this. This is like since 2009, y'all. I've been watching all this shit, y'all. And it's gotten nothing but worse, just like I said it would, because we're not realizing what's going on. So I think that in life, people play certain positions. And I think people are put in the spotlight just to teach the rest of us. Because I wouldn't have known nothing that's going on if I wasn't watching the industry. I wouldn't have known anything. I wouldn't have figured any of these things out if I wasn't watching the industry. So I think that mob ties was being used as hitmen to take out the ones that they felt threatened by or didn't comply with the rules. I think Dolph, MO3, maybe even Duck and Cash, because they signed with Rap a lot, y'all, before they got killed. Takeoff and Duke the Jew. I think all of these things are all the same people. But that's just my opinion. Thanks, S. Williams. I think this is all the same people, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna sit here and not share what I know because it's not just for me. It's to educate all of us. I think God is trying to talk to us and tell us what's going on in this industry. And sometimes our education comes from wherever the general public is paying attention to the most. And what we pay attention to the most, being that we're vibrational people, is the industry. So that's where our lessons are going to come from, y'all. It ain't going to come from no church. Didn't y'all see what happened with Whitney when she passed away? They kept her body and they had the party upstairs and kept her body downstairs. And the coroners were told not to move her body till after the party. Was the Beverly Hills Hotel. There are entrances you can come in and out of where nobody can see you. So that's not what it was. It wasn't that they didn't want anybody to see what was going on. They have all type of secret entrances in these hotels that nobody could have saw when they was moving her body out of there. And not only that, the same damn night the same damn night that she died, you got Nicki Minaj with that performance. I want y'all to go look at her 2012 Grammy performance. Go look at it. And you can't ignore the fact that Cardi B came out and was talking about demons, that she was crying on live. Now, Some people are saying Quavo and Takeoff may have known. I don't know if they may have known. I don't know because Quavo was dressed as the Ghost Rider the night of Halloween. Ghost Rider sold his Ghost Rider, the character. That's a character that sold his soul, and then later on wanted to become righteous and save people from doing the same thing. And then you had um, Offset dressed as the Joker. So it just gave me some type of I don't know what the meaning is of that. But when I saw Puff, I keep repeating this to y'all, dressed as the Joker and it was going so viral and everybody was paying attention. It was everywhere I looked, I saw him dressed as this Joker guy. And I said, I hope nobody don't pass away. And the next day when I woke up, they said that Takeoff was dead. I'm just telling y'all what I was feeling. When JD Youngin got killed, I said the same thing. It was a blood moon, and I said, y'all be prepared for some sad news. And a couple of days later, JD Youngin died. The next day, JD Youngin was gone. So I'm not saying that I'm psychic or anything. I just pay attention because I'm just well versed in this shit now, just from watching it, being a spectator. Then Aaron Carter. Let me play y'all what Aaron Carter said before he passed away. Hold on. I think this is a game. I got receipts. Hold on. I got Aaron Carter's recording here somewhere. Where's Aaron Carter? Here it is. Listen to this.
Carter, I want to verify that this is actually my GoFundMe page. There's been a lot of misdirection that I've had to do in order to protect myself from being the silence breaker for my brother who is a rapist. And now they're after my life. My whole family is after my life. And they're setting me up. And Sony Records owes me $3.5 million, and they don't want to pay me, and it would be in their better interest, just like Michael told me. And Brad Paisley, who sued Sony Records for $10 million. They owe me money, and they're trying to kill me off. And I'm begging you and I'm pleading you, help me raise $100,000 as soon as I can so I can move to an undisclosed location where I am safe. My realtor won't sell my house. They're all involved in this, and they're trying to keep me there. They had cops come and check for a rope in my garage saying I wanted to hang myself. So please trust what I'm saying, and please donate the money.
Did y'all hear that? Somebody tell me if y'all heard that. That was Aaron Carter saying that Sony Records owed him $3.5 million. They didn't want to give him his money. And they were saying that he had a rope in his house. Somebody called the cops and said he was trying to kill himself, and he wasn't trying to kill himself. And he had set up a GoFundMe page for people to donate $100,000 so that he could get away. And then he was found dead in his house. Now, there's another thing that passed my mind too. I was saying, are these things like phony or fake? Like, it's just too perfect. It's just too laid out. Like, yeah, Sassy. That's what Aaron Carter said. And if you look at Aaron Carter, he was only 34. He looked like he was fucking 50 years old. And Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber looked like an old ass man. How is it that you get into this industry and you got all this money and these people are so fucking miserable? Now, all the key players, I always see them at their parties every year. The Yo Gottis with the Jay-Z and all of them meet at these parties and all that shit because they all down with the same brotherhood. And as soon as, right, 34 where? As soon as Nipsey Hussle got into that industry due to his dating Lauren London, and he started going to them parties and mingling with these people, he wound up dead. When he was selling his CDs on the street, he was fine. But as soon as he got into that industry, he wound up dead. And there was a lot of symbology around Nipsey Hussle with him on the white horse and all that shit. All of that shit was, I mean, if you don't understand their symbology, you're not going to understand what you're looking at. You're just going to look at it and think that it's just Nipsey on a standing in front of a horse. But if you look at, there's a picture of Tupac standing in front of a horse too before he got killed. So, but they're saying that some of these people are not really dead, that they faked their deaths just to get out of the industry. So I don't know. We'll never know if that's true or not. But I know this shit is very suspicious to me, and my spirit don't lie to me. My spirit be talking to me, and it gives me these alerts like something ain't right with this shit. But rest in peace to all of these people that passed away, y'all. A lot of Cash, Desto, Takeoff, Mo3, King Ron, Duck, FBG Cash. All of them were victims, if you ask me. And they can make up any scenario they want to make up because you got to remember, we dealing with Hollywood here. We dealing with the industry. So they could always make something look like something that is not. Me, myself, personally, I think other factors were involved and other people were involved and that it was bigger than what we thought it was. Because there's something going on, y'all. It's not every 2-3 months PNB Rock. All these people is passing away like this. This is unbelievable. I'm listen. You're talking to somebody who's been watching hip hop from day one. I was there. I grew up with hip hop like it was my sibling or something. So in the wake of all these deaths now, this has never used to happen to our rappers. Never. The first one was Skylar Rock, and that was 86. The next one didn't happen till 10 years later with Tupac. And then Biggie. And then after that, y'all, it was a rap. Every 5 minutes, you started seeing people dropping dead. Especially it first started in New York with Big L, Chinks Drugs, all the local rappers that was coming up. And then it started spreading everywhere. Bay Area, Mac Dre, all of that shit, y'all. These up and coming rappers that they was just about to be a star, Pop Smoke, you know what I'm saying? All of that shit because Pop Smoke, they was trying to get Pop Smoke to join, and Pop Smoke was telling them no. He didn't need them. He was good with what he was doing, just like Dolph. Then all of a sudden he goes to LA and he winds up dead. And they're talking about, oh, they found the address from his luggage. And come on, y'all. They always find some fucking story to give us. But they do a good job because it always could be either or. But when I look at the other things besides what they told us, like with Takeoff, his last album had a song called 2:30 a.m. and he died at 2:30 a.m. Him being, referred to with a rocket, and he dies in Houston where the Houston Rockets are. Um, the video messy. If you look at that video, a lot of symbology in there. Even him standing next to a tombstone that said R.I.P. And he's standing right next to it. But I gotta tell y'all, when I looked at that one, I was like, they playing us, yo. They fucking playing us. It just looked like he knew something was. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know how these people are going to get justice. The only justice that I see that could happen is that people wake up and don't support these people no more. No support for CMG. No support for Rap Alive Records. No support for Mob Tie. No support for none of these people. And like I said, I thought Boosie was innocent at first, but nah. Mm-mm. He's the one that set up that party, that gambling party for Duke the Jeweler. He's the one that set that up. Because mob ties couldn't lure him to no fucking party. What a good way to lure him into Houston. Why you have it in Houston? Why you just happen to have a concert and you keep saying you didn't know dude. I ain't know dude. I ain't know dude. I just met him yesterday. That's not true. You did. You did know him. So all these lies, Makita cookies, Raven puts Dolph on a on video, and people, he starts talking, he's telling about the cookies. Next thing you know, next time he go buy some cookies, he's dead. Come on, y'all. People didn't even know he used to go to Makita's like that until he was put on film. So that video was released. Triple X. Triple X started talking about the frequencies in music because Triple X went to music a school academy that was he studied music and he knew about the frequencies, and he said he changed the frequency of his music from 440 to 432 because that's the megahertz that we're supposed to be listening to, that has a more positive vibration, effect on our vibration and our frequency. But he switched it over, and they was mad as hell at him for that. He said, I can heal people with my music just through the frequency of it. Go look at Triple X Tentacion talking about the frequency of music and what it does to your subconscious mind. The Triple X was very smart. I don't know what happened with Juice World, but maybe it could have been that, like I said, he was better than most of them, and people got to keep their positions. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I can't explain it to the T, but I know that I'm hitting on something. I know that what I'm feeling, that something's not right. Something's not right. They used to say King Von would have outdid Dirk. Oh, yes, he would have outdid him. And then he winds up dead around a whole bunch of his people. It's just weird to me. So I just wanted to talk about that real quick, y'all. I don't want to keep y'all time too long here, but I had to speak my piece because I had to share with y'all what I've been observing all these years. You know what I'm saying? All these fucking deaths, and they still talking about Pac and Big, and we still don't have a real true answer about what really went down. We're still speculating about that. But I know Big was innocent. Big didn't know what was really truly going on, and that he just wanted to make music. He was talented. He wanted to make his music, but he was making a lot of people upset, especially when he went and got his own label right after his first album and signed Junior Mafia and them. He started learning the game real quick, and Gene Deal came out and said that he had a $62 million deal on the table. Now, if Big would have had a $62 million deal on the table, not only would that have been the most ever given to an artist to start a label, but what would Puffy have done without Biggie at that time? And, hey, mama, and to this day, if you look at Jaguar Wright, she just released something where she said that Puff has been making money off of Biggie for longer than Biggie was alive. Because last year they definitely did a ritual with Biggie's birthday, May 21st, in New York City. They lit the Empire State Building red. They started giving out these Metro cards. The MTA, they never did this before. The train station in New York, they had Biggie Metro cards, and it was in red. Come on, y'all. You think they care about Biggie that much? They didn't care about him like that when he was alive, but you got all these people that draw energy from him every single year on his birthday and on the day he died, which is my birthday, March 9th. So, listen, I think it's time, y'all. I think they kept saying that after 2020, everything that was being hidden was going to be revealed. And it's being revealed. It's just that people don't want to acknowledge it. People don't want to feel like these people are doing these things. Like, what else do we have to hold on to? But what we have to hold on to is each other. We got to look out for each other. And these artists get up there and they let them get to a certain point where they're comfortable, and then they come and hit them with these offers. And if most of the time, if they don't go along with it, they either fall off or something winds up happening to them, or they have some type of tax problem because they don't have cash. They can't just go and get their money and stuff. They be fronting to us like they could do that. But why are they so thirsty if they got all this money? So, I, it's 3 o'clock, and usually when it's a celebrity passes away and they have a memorial or something for him, they usually have it streaming. They don't have it streaming this year because people are too up on what's going on now. People aren't stupid and dumb no more. They probably doing a whole big ass ritual in there, and they don't want people to see it because they be putting two and two together now. They ain't stupid and oblivious. Not stupid. They're not oblivious anymore. And like I said a couple of times, I was happy to see, even if the youth weren't right when they was commenting when King Von died. All of them was saying it was a sacrifice, and they was jumping on Dirk's Instagram post and telling him that he sacrificed Von, and then he shut his Instagram down for a long time. He couldn't take that. Can't fool them no more. But anyway, y'all, rest in peace to Takeoff. Y'all stay blessed and stay safe, and be aware of what's going on out here, y'all. Don't let nobody pull the wool over your eyes. They're using our own people and our own music to keep us down, to keep us, control us. And it's crazy, y'all. You think you're getting out of the hood, you think you're going into something safe, and the next thing your loved one, if that's a star and you think he good, he's dead somewhere, laying down with leaking. In a room full of people, and not even by himself. Somewhere there's a whole bunch of people. Anyway, peace and love. I'm out. I might come back later if there's any more developments, but I just had to share those things with y'all real quick. All right, stay blessed.